You just bought your RV, so what are the 10 essential items you need before you take it on your first camping trip?
Now, there are a few items on here that people would say are subjective, and we feel they're very important. That's why they made the list.
A drinking water safe hose is a must-have. Now, we prefer this vinyl material style because it is really flexible, it doesn't kink, it packs really small, and it's really easy on travel days. Now, we used to get your traditional garden hose, but again, those are bulky, they kink, and they end up cracking. So this is the style we prefer. Now, don't make the mistake we made. We bought one of these, what we call slinky hoses, because they shrivel up really small when you're not using them. We thought they would be perfect for packing on travel days. However, the rubber lining on the inside of these, if you leave them turned on or hooked up for long periods of time, the rubber inside of this splits and you end up having a leak all over the ground. They are nice for just washing the RV and for short-term use.
We're going to throw in some bonus tips and essentials, and here's the first one. When you connect your hose right to your city water inlet, the weight of the hose can damage the inlet over time. City water inlets tend to start leaking eventually because of this, so installing a 90-degree fitting takes the pressure off that inlet.
Number 2, a water pressure regulator. Now, these are very important. You don't know at the campgrounds that you go to what the water pressure is, and some can be extremely high and some can be really low. It's really important to purchase one that has the gauge on it so that you can see what the water pressure is. We like to keep ours around 45 to 50 psi, and we also have the ability to turn this brass screw with a small screwdriver and adjust it to where we want it. You don't want to have too much pressure and blow any of your water lines or any of your joints. Now, we made the mistake when we started out by purchasing just a cheap, inexpensive water pressure regulator, but it did not have the ability to adjust and it did not have the gauge on it. So we never knew what the pressure was. We did end up having an RV leak, and once we changed over to this style of regulator, we have not had any issues.
Number 3 is a water filter. Now, this is going to be on the outside of your RV from the water spigot and the drinking water hose. This is going to filter the water that's coming into your RV. We personally don't just use this as our one line of defense with water filtration. We have a Berkey water filtration system in there for emergency use. Right now, we're just using it without the filters just to hold our water because we choose to distill our own water. A lot of people have reverse osmosis systems in their RVs or do something secondary inside the RV for water filtration.
We also use a water softener if we're at a location for an extended period of time. You never know how hard the water is from place to place.
When we're traveling across the U.S. from one work camping job to the next, we're staying in multiple locations along the way. We no longer have to crawl under the RV to add stabilizer blocks that always break because the RV snapjacks are permanently attached. Matt has noticed how well they grip all surfaces and loves having one less thing to worry about when he's setting up. You can use code WHYNOTWANDER at the link in the description to get 10% off your RV snap pads. Thank you so much to RV Snap Pad for sponsoring today's video.
Number 4, a sewer hose. Now, it's really important when you purchase your sewer hose that you get the kit that has the extension. Many times when you get to a campground, you're not going to be able to reach the sewer, so you're going to need to use the extension. Also, we like to upgrade and purchase the clear see-through elbows. That way you can see what's coming out, so when the water flows clear, you know that you're done.
We've gone through several of the basic sewer hoses in the time we've been on the road since they tend to crack easily if accidentally stepped on, but also from sitting in the sun all day. The next time we need to upgrade, we're definitely purchasing the Rhino Extreme Sewer Hose Kit. The hoses are not only crush resistant, but also much better quality. While we're talking about sewer hoses, you will also need a sewer hose support. They have a downward slant to allow for perfect drainage.
Now, before we move on to item number 5, if you are excited to jump into your first RV, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Number 5, a black flush hose. Now, a black flush hose is totally different than your drinking water hose. You only use this when you are flushing your tanks. You do not want to contaminate your drinking water by using the same hose to do both. Now, we hooked this up to the black flush on the outside of the RV, and you run water into your tanks, flush them out with the sprayer that's inside, and that helps clean out all of the debris that's still in your tank. It cuts down on smell as well. Now, I also always use gloves when I'm working with the sewer hose and with the black flush hose.
Number 6, levelers. I love talking about these because this is my job. Matt backs up the RV and I am always working with the levelers. I have a level that I use against the RV and then I'm telling him when we are in the right position. These Carmtech levelers are by far the best that we have ever had. We have used the other name brands and they've actually cracked and broken. And these Carmtech levelers, as soon as we took them out of the box, I knew they were a completely different, like a whole step above all of the other levelers. Highly recommend these.
Number 7, tire chocks. You cannot unhook from your tow vehicle safely without using tire chocks. Now, it is possible to buy really cheap, thin plastic ones, but they do break and crack really quick. We recommend these nice heavy-duty rubber ones. Number 8, tire pressure monitoring system, or TPMS. We feel this is really important to talk about, and it is a definite must for this list. Even before we took possession of our very first RV, we invested in a TPMS system. For our safety, but also for the safety of others on the road. You see so many RVs and videos of RVers stuck on the side of the road with damage to the side of their vehicle. Some people would argue that you can still have a blowout even while using a TPMS system, and we would agree with you. It is possible to have a blowout so quickly that your TPMS doesn't even have time to alert you. But the majority of the time, the TPMS system is a huge benefit and does alert you. For example, on one of our trips from Michigan to Florida, the temperature difference between here and there was so different that when I aired the tires up here in Michigan, by the time we got to the heat of Florida, we were getting alerts from the TPMS system. We were able to safely pull over and make adjustments. On another trip in the mountains of Colorado, we got alerted 2 days in a row from the TPMS that we had a slow leak. We were able to pull over and get those tires taken care of.
Number 9, a portable air compressor. Now, one thing you might not know about Matt is he likes to save money. He likes to go for the cheaper version of things. So when I saw what was in the cart, I was like, why are we not getting a Viair? We ended up making the investment and we have both been so happy that we did. This has been wonderful because you can hook up to any vehicle battery and air up your tires. He uses it the day before we are going to be having a travel day and airs up all of the tires, saves us from the morning of having to stop somewhere to do that. We're also able to help others on the side of the road if we ever see the need. And this has saved us so many times. We have been all over the country and I can't even tell you all the locations. It would take a while that we have either pulled off on the side of the highway or we have pulled off of the expressways into parking lots to take care of tire issues. So this is something that we absolutely believe in and it's worth the investment.
Well, as Laurie said, I tend to go for the cheaper version of things, especially if it's a high ticket item like one of these. But I am so thankful that she talked me into going with the Viair. Now, one thing that I really do like about it is the hoses and the extension hose. You're able to go from the front of your vehicle, your tow vehicle, or if you're driving a Class A, the hoses will go all the way to the back of the unit and you are able to fill all of your tires. I'm really impressed with the Viair and so thankful that we have it. Number 10, a surge protector. Surge protectors are very important because they protect your RV's electrical system from power surges. Surge protectors are also used to check the power supply at the pedestal. You simply plug it in, flip on the breakers, and check the indicator lights. And ours is working correctly. If we have the green and blue lights, that means our power is good and correct. Your surge protector may be different, so just know what that is and check it, then you can back into your site. Now, before you plug in your power, you always want to make sure that the breaker is turned off. You never want power while you're plugging in. Once you're plugged in, you can turn the breaker on. And now you'll have peace of mind that your RV electrical system is protected.
Dog bones are also important to have if you get to a campground and they only have 30 amp, but you have a 50 amp rig. A dog bone will allow you to still plug in, even though you'll have limited power. They are also good for mooch docking and plugging into someone's house. Last bonus tip, it's always good to have extra fuses on hand. If you blow a fuse late at night or if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you will be really thankful that you have these.
If you like this video, you're gonna love our video on how to save money as a full-time RVer. Now, get out there and wander.